Have you been waking up 2, 3, maybe even 4 times a night just to pee? You tell yourself it's just age. Nothing new, something you've learned to live with. But let me ask you, what if it's not just age? What if your body is trying to tell you something and you're not listening? You ever notice how we brush things off, especially the uncomfortable stuff? That slow stream, the urgent rush, the weird pressure you can't quite explain. You shrug, laugh it off, old man problems, right? But here's the truth most folks don't want to hear. What feels like a little inconvenience today might be a big problem tomorrow. And when it comes to your prostate, the earlier you pay attention, the better your chances of avoiding pain, embarrassment, even serious procedures down the line. I'm talking about 5 simple habits you probably do every single day without realizing they might be making things worse. As a prostate doctor, I've seen it all. Men suffering silently, thinking it's just the way it is. But that's not how it has to be. Let me say that again. This does not have to be your normal. By the end of this video, you're going to learn the 5 daily habits that may be silently enlarging your prostate. And more importantly, what you can start doing today to finally get some relief. Because when your body starts whispering about discomfort, urgency, and all the things no one wants to talk about, you better believe it's time to start listening. So if you're tired of those late-night bathroom trips, if you're worried about the long-term effects, or if you've got a father, brother, or husband who needs this info just as much as you do, comment, "I'm here right now." Let me know you're ready to take control of your health, or to help someone you care about live more comfortably. And don't forget to subscribe to Elderly Care, where we give real advice for real people with heart, honesty, and the experience that matters. Let's talk about what your body's been trying to tell you, starting now. Let's start with something that sounds harmless, but quietly chips away at your health every single day. Sitting. Not just taking a break, but sitting for hours. Watching TV, reading the newspaper, playing cards, maybe just watching the world go by from your favorite chair. Now picture this. A man named Charles, retired just a few years ago, used to walk every morning with his wife. Just a few laps around the neighborhood. Nothing intense, just movement. Then winter came, then the aches and stiffness. And slowly, the walk stopped. He found comfort in his recliner, the TV remote by his side, snacks on the table. Nothing seemed wrong until he started feeling that strange heaviness in his lower abdomen. A bit of pressure, and then more bathroom trips than usual. You see, when you stop moving, something happens inside you. Blood stops flowing freely, especially down in the pelvic area. That's where your prostate lies. And when that circulation slows down, inflammation settles in, fluid builds. That's the perfect storm for prostate swelling to take hold. And here's where the big misunderstanding creeps in. We're told to rest. Take it easy. Don't strain yourself, especially as you age, right? But here's the twist. Too much rest can actually hurt you, because your prostate needs blood flow, just like your heart, your brain, your muscles. When you sit too long, you're starving it of the circulation that keeps it healthy. Now, I'm not saying go run a marathon. This isn't about becoming a gym rat at 70. But just 20 minutes a day, a simple stroll around the block, or even around your house, can help reduce pressure in the pelvic region. Light stretching, a gentle standing routine, just something to get the blood moving. That one habit, done daily, can protect your prostate in ways medication alone can't. Don't underestimate the power of motion. Your body was built to move, even slowly. And when you stop moving, your health starts slipping. But exercise isn't the only thing that affects your prostate, because what you put in your body matters just as much. Let's talk about what's on your plate and in your glass every single day. Something that sounds so simple, it's almost too easy to overlook: water. I want you to imagine a man named Frank. He's 72, sharp-minded, kind-hearted, always been the type to grin through discomfort. Lately, he's been waking up 3, 4 times a night to use the bathroom. He figures, if I drink less during the day, maybe I'll sleep better. So he cuts back. A lot. No more sipping water in the evening. Sometimes he skips it entirely during the day too. And for a short while, it seems to help. Fewer trips, more sleep, until one morning, he feels it. That burning sensation, that pressure, the need to go even when his bladder feels empty. It's not just discomfort now, it's pain. What Frank didn't realize is that in trying to avoid the bathroom, he made things worse. See, when you don't drink enough water, your urine becomes more concentrated. It turns darker, more acidic. And that's a problem because concentrated urine irritates the bladder. It irritates the prostate. It creates the perfect environment for inflammation to build up and for that gland to start swelling. Most people think they're helping themselves by holding back on water, but they're doing the opposite. Because when your body's dehydrated, your prostate gets no relief. It becomes more sensitive, more inflamed, and more prone to the very symptoms you're trying to avoid. You don't need to chug water by the gallon. What you need is consistency. Small sips throughout the day. Enough to keep your urine light yellow or clear. That's your goal. Not dryness. Not avoidance. Just balance. Set a reminder if you need to. Keep a glass nearby. Even just a few ounces every hour can change how your prostate feels at the end of the day. Don't wait until you're thirsty. At that point, you're already running low. And your prostate? It notices. So yes, movement matters. And so does hydration. But what about the food you're feeding your body, day in and day out? Because what you eat, especially the fatty stuff, can quietly shape the future of your prostate. Let's talk about something we all know and love, food. More specifically, those hearty, meaty meals that bring family together. Picture a sunny afternoon. The grill's fired up. Steaks sizzling. Juicy burgers. Sausages thick with flavor. The smell, the satisfaction, it's hard to beat. Now I'm not here to ruin your barbecue, but I do want you to think about what those meals are doing to your body over time. Because while your taste buds might be thrilled, your prostate, not so much. Here's what most folks don't realize. Diets high in red meat and saturated fat have been directly linked to increased risk of prostate enlargement. It's called BPH, Benign Prostatic Hyperplasia, and it's far more common than you might think. And it doesn't just show up overnight. It builds, quietly. One burger here, a steak there. Over the years, your body starts to change. Fat gets stored in places it didn't used to. Hormone levels shift, especially testosterone and estrogen balance. And all of that contributes to inflammation, which means your prostate begins to swell slowly and silently. Now here's the part where many people get it twisted. They think, I need protein to stay strong. I'm getting older. I can't cut back. And that's true. You do need protein, but it doesn't have to come from a ribeye every night. There are better options. Options that fuel your body without inflaming your prostate. Try adding plant-based proteins like lentils, beans, or tofu a couple times a week. Swap out that beef for salmon or sardines, rich in omega-3s that actually help fight inflammation. And here's a tip many men overlook. Cruciferous vegetables like broccoli, cauliflower, and Brussels sprouts, loaded with compounds that support prostate health. And tomatoes, especially cooked, contain lycopene, one of the most powerful antioxidants for your prostate. It's not about cutting all the joy from your meals. It's about balance, being mindful, treating your prostate with the same care you give the rest of your body. Because what you eat today could determine how many times you're waking up tomorrow. Now let me ask you this. Have you been sleeping well lately? Or are your nights restless, your mind racing, your body tossing from one side of the bed to the other? Because the next habit that can affect your prostate has nothing to do with food or water. It's about stress and what's happening in the dark long after the day has ended. Now let's turn the lights down and talk about something that hits close to home for almost everyone past a certain age: sleep. Think of Joe. He's in his late 60s, used to sleep like a rock, but now he wakes up 4 times a night. First to use the bathroom, then because he can't fall back asleep, and then because his mind starts racing. Finals, health. What he forgot to do that day. Little worries piling up like bricks in the dark. Joe blames his age. Figures that's just how things are once you get older. Sleep goes downhill, right? But here's what Joe doesn't know, what most people don't know. It's not just about age. Poor sleep and high stress actually feed into the very problems causing your prostate to swell. Let me explain. When you don't sleep well, or when your mind is constantly anxious, your body produces more of a hormone called cortisol. It's your stress hormone. Now, a little cortisol is normal. It helps you respond to challenges. But when it stays high for too long, it starts messing with everything, including your testosterone levels. And when testosterone falls out of balance, inflammation rises, hormones fluctuate, and your prostate, already sensitive, begins to swell in response. This is the part people overlook: how much stress and broken sleep actually affect the body physically, not just emotionally. And here's the kicker. Many folks think, well, it's normal. I'm just getting older. But that mindset is what keeps them stuck in the cycle. Because poor sleep isn't just annoying, it's fuel for the fire when it comes to prostate growth. So what can you do? Start by creating a routine. Not something rigid, just consistent. Wind down at the same time each night. Avoid screens. Yes, that phone or tablet for at least an hour before bed. The blue light from those screens messes with your brain's natural melatonin. Try soft music, a warm bath, light breathing exercises, even simple guided meditation, just 5 minutes, can help lower your cortisol and calm your nervous system. And if your mind starts running wild at night, write your thoughts down before bed. It's like clearing clutter off a desk. Gives your mind room to rest. Sleep is healing. It's when your body repairs, your hormones rebalance, and inflammation can ease. Neglecting it doesn't just leave you tired, it leaves you vulnerable. And finally, this next habit is one I see far too often, and it may be the most overlooked of them all, because it's not about what you do, it's about what you don't do. And the consequences, they sneak up faster than you think. And here we are, habit number 5. It doesn't involve what you eat, drink, or how you sleep. It's about what you choose to ignore until it's too late. Let me tell you about Bob. He's 68, healthy, active, proud of how strong he stayed through retirement. He's the kind of guy who doesn't complain, doesn't go to the doctor unless something's broken. I feel fine, he says. Why bother? But here's the thing. When Bob finally did go in for a checkup, it wasn't just routine. His prostate was already significantly enlarged. The symptoms? They crept up slowly. A little more urgency, a little less pressure. But he shrugged it off. By the time he realized something was wrong, he needed more than just advice. He needed intervention. See, here's what many people don't realize. BPH, benign prostatic hyperplasia, doesn't usually scream for attention. It whispers, quietly. And for a lot of men, it doesn't whisper at all. Not until it's already progressed. That's why regular checkups matter. A simple prostate exam or PSA blood test can reveal issues long before you feel them. It's not about fear. It's about being smart, catching things early while they're easy to manage. Because once symptoms show up, the road gets a little tougher. Now I get it. Some guys avoid these exams because they're uncomfortable. Some feel embarrassed. Others think, I'm fine. I'll deal with it if something comes up. But here's the truth. Feeling fine doesn't always mean you're fine, especially when it comes to the prostate. This gland can swell silently for years. And by the time you notice the symptoms, frequent urination, weak flow, straining, that never-empty feeling, it's already made your life harder than it needed to be. If you're over 50, you should be getting checked every year. If you got symptoms, or if someone in your family has had prostate problems, start sooner. The tests are fast, they're painless, and they can truly change the course of your life. You wouldn't skip an oil change for your car, so why would you skip a checkup for your body? These 5 habits, they might seem small, easy to overlook, but when they stack up, when they go unchecked, they can make the difference between feeling in control and feeling overwhelmed. And here's the good news. You have the power to change all of them. Right now, not all at once, not perfectly, just one step at a time. Because your health isn't something to gamble with. It's something to protect. Now, let's bring everything we've talked about full circle. It's not easy, is it? Watching someone you love struggle silently, especially when it's with something they feel too uncomfortable to bring up. The quiet groans in the middle of the night, the long pause before they get out of the chair, the way they avoid long car rides or skip social events because they're afraid they won't find a bathroom in time. We see it. We notice, but so often we don't say anything because it's awkward, because it's private, because we're taught to keep certain things to ourselves. But here's what I want you to hear and hold on to. You're not alone, and neither are they. There are so many men going through this exact thing, and too many are suffering in silence. thinking this is just how it's going to be, that it's just part of getting older, that nothing can be done. But that's where they're wrong, because understanding these habits, knowing what causes prostate changes and what can make them worse, gives you something powerful. It gives you options. It gives you hope. When we stop blaming age and start recognizing the patterns, when we let go of shame and start having real conversations about health, that's when change begins. So if you've been hearing some echoes of your own life in what I've shared, if your nights are broken by urgent trips to the bathroom, or if you've been feeling pressure, discomfort, or just a nagging sense that something's off, please don't ignore it. You're not too old. It's not too late. And it's not too far gone. Start small. Drink a little more water. Take a short walk today. Put more vegetables on your plate. Turn off the screen a little earlier tonight. Call your doctor, not next month. This week. Each of these steps might feel tiny, but together they build momentum. They send a signal to your body that you're listening, that you care. And that's where healing begins. Because prostate health doesn't have to decline with age. You're not doomed to discomfort or frustration. With a few mindful choices, day by day, your later years can be strong, confident, and full of peace. This is about more than glands and habits. This is about dignity, about living with clarity and control in the years that matter most. So take a breath. You've got the tools now. So let's take a moment to bring it all together. Let's settle in. We've talked about 5 habits, simple things, daily choices, that most people don't even realize are affecting their prostate health. Too much sitting, not enough water, too many fatty, red meat-heavy meals, inconsistent sleep and chronic stress, and skipping regular checkups. Each one, by itself, might not seem like a big deal, but together, they create the perfect storm. A slow, quiet buildup that can make life uncomfortable, frustrating, and sometimes even dangerous. But here's the thing. Once you know, you can change. And that power, that ability to shift the course of your health, just by being a little more aware, that's something no one can take from you. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Which of these habits surprised you the most? Was there one that hit close to home? Maybe one you're already working on? Or maybe one you never thought could be connected to prostate health? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I read every one, and I promise, you never know who your story might help. This community is growing, and you're part of it. If this video helped you think differently, if it made something click, or gave you a gentle push to start taking your health more seriously, consider subscribing to Elderly Care. This is what we do here. We bring the conversations that matter, the ones that often go unsaid, about aging, health, dignity, and love. Whether it's for you or someone you care deeply about, this space is here for you. Thank you for spending this time with me. It means more than you know. We don't take your attention for granted. So as you move through the rest of your day, remember this. Small habits, big difference. You've got this. Stay informed, stay proactive, and I'll see you in the next video.